Welcome to another episode of Draft Room. I'm Tom, and today I'm here with the best bartender here in Huntsville, Luis Loza Amaro. Luis, welcome to the show, man.
Flattered to be here. Thank you.
Let's start off with what we're drinking real quick. You just made this a second ago. What are we having here?
Yes, so it is a variation of a Negroni,
Okay.
but it's made with pisco as the base instead of gin. So you have pisco, sweet vermouth, and Campari.
Okay.
Now to this, I've also added some Peruvian bitters and a liqueur from Amsterdam that is made out of coca leaves from Bolivia. So it's going to be herbal, a little bit bitter, and refreshing.
So it's crazy. When you first taste it, you're like, oh, there's a lot of bitterness, and you're wondering if you can get through it. But then there's a little bit of sweetness, and it's smooth at the end. So this is wonderful. Hey, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
All right. I'm going to take one more sip here before we get going. All right. So let's get a little background going. Tell me how you got into bartending. We'll talk about the places that you've bartended, where we met, and what your future is. But how did you get into bartending?
Through a friend. I had been in the industry since 2002, restaurant industry.
Right.
I started bartending at Humphreys in 2010.
Right. Yeah. R.I.P. Humphreys.
Yeah,
I love that back patio. Come on.
There's nothing like it. Yeah, Humphreys was awesome. Humphreys was great. So yeah, I had a friend that bartended there and got me a job there. Then quickly moved me up behind the bar to bar back.
Okay.
I did that for a couple months, and then they moved me up to bartending, and been there since.
Off
Loved
to
it.
the races there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it a little intimidating going there, like a bar back? You're kind of supporting bartenders, but then to be thrown in it and start making drinks, right? That's a whole other place.
The glove fit pretty easily, man. I loved it. I was learning, picking up everything pretty quickly. So I think it wasn't too challenging.
Okay.
There now, once I made my big step into SIP a few years forward,
Yeah.
that was a little bit challenging.
Right, because so let's back up a little bit. From Humphreys, more of a sports bar. Obviously
Yep.
full service bar, whatever. But then you go into Sip, it's more of a custom sort of a hipster sort of place. Just a brilliant selection, especially on the whiskey bourbon side. I think it's the
Definitely.
best place in town for whiskey and bourbon. But yeah, your guys are known for craft sort of drinks, specialty drinks, and kind of killing it every time. So if anybody comes from out of town and I'm trying to impress them a little bit with a good drink, it's Sip that people will go to, right?
SIP is definitely an absolutely great place to introduce to people. Yeah, great whiskey selection, fabulous cocktails, great cigar selection, and a little different from the new place where I am now.
Yeah.
If we go into that.
Yeah.
It's more of a speakeasy vibe,
Right.
and it's by reservation, but it's very intimate. Great place for a date. Wonderful cocktails as well. So it's the building up to SIP that kind of like makes the I don't know the story for me, right? So like you said, going from a fast-paced sports bar
Right.
kind of thing. So I did that, did Furniture Factory, the chips and salsa.
Sure.
The closest thing I did to more of like a clean bar kind of thing vibe was 1892.
Man, I missed that.
Yeah, that's
place.
yeah.
That was one. I lived in 5 Points. That's the place I would go to. The food was great there. The bar was great.
I love the place.
I love that place. Yeah. R.I.P. You do that one too, man.
same.
Is it? Wait, hold on. I'm seeing a pattern here. If Sip closes down, I'm blaming this one on you, man. All right, so we got to keep this going. All right,
Hopefully that'll never happen. Yeah.
fast forward, you get to Sip, and to me, it's elevating your game because it is a different place from the other places you've been to, right?
Yes, and I also discovered a passion there. All right, so when I first was hired there, I worked with Briscoe, one of the owners and the manager there. We worked briefly at Furniture Factory before that,
Yeah. Okay.
and they enjoyed my work ethic. He thought I had the capabilities, so he brought me on board. And but when I first stepped back behind the bar, I didn't know what 90% of those bottles were. I didn't know how to make a proper old fashioned or a proper Manhattan. I didn't know
When you
anything
started
about,
at Sip,
I
let's
didn't
get
know
this straight here,
anything
guys.
about classic cocktails.
You didn't know how to make an old fashioned when you started at Sip.
No,
That
I
blows
would have
me
shaken
away.
it,
Yeah.
popped the cherry in it, like all the wrong things. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I didn't know anything about classic cocktails. So, but I did have bartending experience for years,
Sure.
right? So it was easy to learn things, but learning more of the artistic aspect of things, the historical aspect of things, the little bit of science that goes into it, and not so little actually.
Yeah. a lot.
But all of these are like very interesting parts of the profession that is for me, right? So
Right.
I learned the passion.
It seems like in a chef in that sense where mixing
Indeed.
different, ingredients changes everything. And the same sentiment here, right?
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
I love that you seem to be hired, since you didn't know how to make an old fashioned, as a cultural hire, which is great, right? And then you kind of slid into the history and learning the real, like you said, the science behind it, and you became really successful. Yeah, and I know that because when I go into SIP and see other people come in and how they talk to you and how everybody's excited when you make them a drink, and my experience personally with you has always been really wonderful, and that's why we reached out to you, because I thought, man, you're the guy here in town that everybody wants to go and see, get a good drink, which
That's
is
very
really cool.
flattering. Thank you.
So we're at SIP. How many years were you at SIP there?
Almost 8 years.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I
Okay.
left
Wow.
almost 3 weeks ago, about 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
So this just happened.
It has, and it's bittersweet.
I know. Like every time I ask you, I can tell you roll your eyes a little bit, and you're like, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
So obviously you've made a lot of contacts there, a lot of friends there, but you are moving over. So let's talk about these future adventures
Surely.
that you're going to be involved in, and then I want to really talk about some of the science and some of that methods behind on how you make things. So let's go into
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So yeah,
Okay, so I joined Church Street Family.
yeah,
So they own Purveyor, Catacombs,
all the great
Massaro,
places here in
yeah,
town. Sure, yeah.
absolutely. And they do have some projects. One, it's named Kingfisher. It'll hopefully be opening before the end of the year.
New project for
Yes,
for the
gonna
church.
be right
yeah.
downtown. There's not a whole lot more I can say about it.
Yeah.
But it really goes, the program really goes to fit everything that I had actually been wanting to work on and improving into like my
Okay.
personal growth, I guess.
Okay.
Right. So it's I think I would be a good fit for it. I think it's a good fit for me, and I'm really, really stoked about it. It's going to be a great place. In the meantime, I'll be at Catacombs.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Catacombs. What a unique experience that I've been there a handful of times. It's always wonderful. So give everybody a little bit of taste. If they haven't been there, they have no idea what it is. Tell them how the whole operation works. It's really kind of neat. So go ahead and kind of explain what Catacombs
absolutely.
is.
So you make your reservation. It's a very intimate setting, and you get a sheet of paper where you get to select your liquor of preference and a couple flavor profiles, and then we get to create something to fit the description for
Right.
you, right?
Yeah, you
So
pick you pick bourbon, or you pick vodka, or you pick whatever,
Correct.
and then you pick some other aspects, and you don't really pick an old fashioned. You pick the things that you're into, and then you craft a drink from scratch based upon those selections, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
And now we may be often ask you, a question if you would like something that is more liquor forward, or in particular type of like fruity. If you select
Or
like
spicy
fruity,
or
like
something, yeah.
you want a tropical kind of approach.
Yeah.
So just kind of to like narrow it down and make sure that we're actually getting you something what that
It's
you-
really a cool experience. It's almost like in a basement, and there's only like how many people does this? It's very small.
You'll get about 26 people in there.
That
something
seems
like- yeah.
even more than I could imagine being in there at any one given time. But the drinks come out as art. I mean, we've been to a few restaurants recently, like in Nashville and stuff, and the whole thing when they bring them out, it's this huge presentation, and the food is great, but it's more like this wonderful sort of display of culinary art, and that's what this reminds me of. Like you come out and there's this large bubble that gets burst out and smoke comes out of it, and
Yes,
some
that's-
crazy stuff like that, right?
That's very catchy. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been blessed to jump from one excellent team to finding another one.
Uh-huh.
So we have very artistic bartenders in the team, and very experienced, and from original recipes to knowing how to play with variations and mixing random ingredients, to actually using garnishes that actually match into the concept of the cocktail. It's just not just make it pretty,
Right.
but actually it'll kind of like for it to make sense, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole like equation of things.
Well, like I love the mix of art and science in there, and it almost seems like I almost will never get the same drink twice when I go there,
Yeah.
because it could be a different person serving it. Also, it could be different that night because am I right? There's not like a set sort of drink. It's sort of like just create it based on what they select, maybe the vibe that night or something like that, right?
So for bartenders here or wherever you go, kind of for craft cocktail bartenders, it's a little bit of a, I don't know if you would call it a cheat, but you call it a Mr. Potato Head approach.
All right.
So it's kind of where you like take one ingredient and substitute another. Like
Okay.
there are like 6 essentially base cocktail styles, and then everything else kind of like just branches out from each of those.
Okay.
So you have a daisy is one of them, and that's what a margarita is, for example. A margarita literally means daisy in Spanish.
Sure.
But you have a liqueur, liquor, and a citrus.
Okay.
So like a sidecar is a daisy, and then one is cognac, an orange liqueur, and lemon juice. So it's just understanding the concept of those things. You can play with different ingredients, substituting the base, the complementary ingredient, or the citrus, right?
Wow. Well, that's great, man. I'm really excited for that. And so again, you'll be at the you're already started at the Catacombs, so you're there now?
Yes.
Okay.
I started last week.
And then everybody here locally, or if you're coming into town, you got to check out the Catacombs. It's a wonderful experience. It's a great date night thing before you go out to dinner. Hit up that place, have a drink or two, and then it's just a really cool place to be. So I ask this of every guest, and I'm really interested in this now because
All right.
mostly I have designers, artists, and stuff like this, but I'm hoping that this sparks an interesting side to this question. Has artificial intelligence, AI, touched any part of bartending? If not for you, have you seen it in other places? Is there a future for AI in bartending? Save us all and tell us what you think on that.
I mean, I think as a structural thing or as a complement to like maybe helping the creative aspect of things or execution, but not to replace your bartender
right now.
Unless you just create a robot that is just it's not going to happen.
Right.
Like there are those automatic or robotic things that make your drink kind of like those coffee pod machines, but this is with cocktails.
Like a Keurig for cocktails.
Yeah, it's just not the same. I think what people really appreciate the most out of going out for a drink is the human experience, the connection, right? Not just, and don't get me wrong, you may just want to take a shot and move on with your day.
Right.
But generally speaking, people want something just beyond the drink, because you can just have that drink at home if that's what you want.
I totally agree with that.
Right.
And I think about this all the time. So I have a somewhat small collection of whiskey that I really enjoy, but sometimes I want to go out and I want to have the experience, like you're saying, that. And, I'll have that same drink that I have at home. I'll have it out because, we're trying to have an experience, outside of the house. And I think that may hopefully never go away. And I'm hoping that human side of it.
I'm hoping so.
I'm with you on that side of it, at least. I have given way on many aspects of AI for art, but I'm hoping there's some places where somebody, puts up the walls and keeps the Terminators out of that specific space, and I'm hoping it's our bars for at least a little while, right?
I hope so. I don't intend to change my profession anytime soon. So,
all right. So, another question is here. When we talk a little bit about the science of making a drink. So, and I love the fact that you came into it not knowing anything, and now you it seems like you've done a little, research, and you're kind of going into what, the different, like you said, the art and science of making good drinks. When you're at a place like Catacombs or maybe future ventures like this other one you're talking about, how are you able to bring your personal sort of creativity, your personal stamp, your signature on some of the drinks that you'll be creating, even though there might be, like, Catacombs is a little easier because there might be a little more loosey-goosey on how things are created, but maybe a next venture might be a little more structured. But how is Luis planting his firm, stamp on things and being the creative and mixing that art and science?
Okay, so the beauty of Catacombs, and it's something that I was able to enjoy at SIP also, is the creative freedom, right? Well, at SIP, again, I was taught the way the understanding of it, and then I was able to just kind of like take off from it, experiment with my own things, just try out different ingredients, and um, so I'd like to read or watch stuff about different like cuisines, and there learn about new ingredients from different countries or cultures, and then want to learn, how can I use those
Okay.
in what I do, right? Um, or even just things that are commonly used here, but more again that are like customary to food, I guess, as opposed to you wouldn't think about, I don't know, turmeric in drinking or mushrooms and drinking, but learning how to apply anything into a cocktail. That I guess that's kind of like the challenge or
Right.
the objective for me. So working with people that have a similar um, approach and experimentation, kind of like openness. It's great. We're gonna do some beautiful things.
Wonderful. All right. Another question. What's your drink of choice? What's the one that you go to? Like the bar is empty, everybody left. You're gonna have one drink. You're gonna make it yourself. You have anything. You have the entire bar to your disposal. Money's no cost. What's the drink you make?
Well, usually after work, I'm a beer and a shot kind of guy usually,
All right.
and the shot is always Fernet.
For now.
Yeah, unless they don't have it, then
Yeah.
it's usually a whiskey, maybe Jameson or something like that. But yeah, Fernet is
Fernet.
the
You want to hear something interesting? We were up in DC with another kind of bartender friend of ours. We mentioned, and he's like, "Oh, that guy's a good bartender. That's the bartender's drink." He said that. So cheers to you on that. And you
Cheers.
introduced to that for a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, man, what an interesting drink. So if you haven't had it, check it out. It's really cool. So everybody can check out Luis over at the Catacombs. Also, future adventures, take a look for. You can look up Catacombs up online, and you can make your reservation. Go by and check them out. Everybody give it up for Luis. Thank you so much for being here, man. Hey,
Thank you.
cheers.
Cheers.